Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Welcome to Real Housewives of Lagos episode 10. Before I start, I was able to listen to the podcast Choma had with the Real Housewives of Lagos, the Real Housewives of Lagos after party. Choma had a podcast with them and it was very enlightening. Very, very enlightening. I love Choma. The only thing that I did not like was her tardiness when it came to being late. But she brought that to light and she said, no, that's not the case. Everything is not shown and it's very heavily edited. She talked about Mariam's party and she said, I know it looked like 5 hours late. That was not the case. We were an hour late. And when we got to the venue, we were told to wait outside because they were still filming inside. I am so happy that I listened to the podcast. I'm so happy that Choma did the podcast. I want all of the girls to do a podcast with whomever platform you feel very comfortable with because it gives us that insight. And I am learning, I'm really learning in this particular franchise that there are two stories. One behind the scenes and one that we are seeing. And the girls are also seeing the episodes along with us. She expressed all of that. So Choma, I'm so happy. I can comfortably say I'm in love with you again. Love your style, love your fashion. You know, it's a lot, but yeah, why not? The only thing my issue was with you was the lateness. And if that is not the case, check, then you are fabulous. Do we love? Do we live, my darlings? I wore it for the occasion because this is, again, like I've said, is the Real Housewives of Lagos and they've gone to Dubai. They had just arrived in Dubai at the beautiful townhouse and Toyin has made arrangements for them to go to this beautiful, gorgeous villa. But before they go, they're sitting down, having a little tete-a-tete and Yabo turns to Caroline and says, which boyfriend, which husband gave you this bracelet which you have lost? Everybody in unison just like, Toyin was like, ooh, I don't think so. Yes. You know, all the girls were like, yeah, but that is a bit much. And Caroline did not appreciate it at all. In her confessional, she said, you know what, Yabo, you're making it out as if I have different men at once. That's not the case. If I'm with you, I'm with you. And that is it. So Yabo, you know what? That's disrespectful. It was unnecessary. Don't try to bring any kind of drama up in here. Anyway, they go to where the villa. And the villa is beautiful. It's big. It's gorgeous. But it's not as modern as the townhouse. Needless to say, all the girls sit down. And Toyin now runs to each room to put all of their gifts and everything. So that when they go to their bedrooms, they can see all of their gifts. And guess what? Mariam is not happy and she's justified. Why? Because she had won the traditional contest at Toyin's 40th birthday party and Mariam really went off. Mariam really went off. I was kind of like, Mariam, but it's only a room. I mean, you're not going to stay here all day. You're going to be going out. You're going to be doing other things. You're going to be sleeping on your own. So really, what's the big deal? But girlfriend was kind of tight and upright about the whole thing. But she was right. She was right because she was supposed to be given that gift. And Toyin was like, well, I didn't want to this. I didn't want to that. Mariam was like, you know what, whatever. What I like about Mariam, she lets it out and she moves on. She's turning out to be one of the girls I'm very fond of in this entire season. She's light. She's very light. She's very fun-loving. And that's about it. She said what she had to say and then she kind of just sort of moved on from that. Yeah. Anyway, they have to come down and have dinner. Laura finally comes down when all of the girls are sitting down and Tiana is telling the girls, well, we're here for 7 days, so you girls help out with the events. I would love to hear where you guys want to take me, take us, have a good time. And they all came up with wonderful ideas, but none of them said shopping malls, because when I tell you those shopping malls, woo! It is like opening Vogue magazine and seeing all of the limited edition collections in real life. The only city that is fabulous like Dubai is Moscow. Moscow, wow. and nobody's going there right now. So Dubai it is. Anyway, Laura is feeling rather insecure. In her confessionals, she says that she feels alone. She feels that she's being secluded. She's being avoided. She is also having some personal issues going on. And it's funny because anytime when they pan onto Laura and her confessional, or when she's filming, the mood of the music changes and it's very solemn, it's very sad. Oh, we have to feel sorry for Laura. I peeped it because I'm an editor. We filmed and edited over 600 videos up in here, so I for sure know how to change the mood and get the sentiment out to you guys. So anyway, Laura clicks her glass and she's like, you know what, I need some attention. I just want to address a few things. And she goes ahead to talk about how, Caroline, we're going to talk, but not now. I apologize, but not now. And she comes off very cocky. She wants the attention, but she doesn't know how to plead for it. She doesn't want to acknowledge that there have been things that have been said both sides, both ways. If Caroline had said things to you, you have said things to her. If Toyin has hurt your feelings, you have hurt Toyin's feelings. But Laura feels that, oh, it's very much, oh me, oh me, oh me. And they do try to trash it out at the table. Mariam even steps in and says, Laura, you know, I know the girls were late at my dinner, but you were there and you were not pleased with the food. You didn't want the drink. You didn't want to talk to anybody. You wanted to be left alone. And she was hurt by that because she made such an effort for that dinner to be wonderful. You could have at least stepped up. I'm going to stop for 1 second. I think I understand Laura. I have a couple of friends like that. And I'm sure you girls do too. You have to be a psychologist sometimes with some friends. And these friends is a lot of energy. It's real high maintenance. Are you okay? Is everything fine? Do you need this? Are you happy with me? I didn't upset you. It can be exhausting. It's all about pampering them. The only person that I pamper, really and truly, Ula and Adrian. Because they pamper me and they give me so much love and joy all the time. Those are the only people that I really pamper. Laura's language, you have to interpret and you have to dissect what she's trying to say, because what she says is not what she means. Guys, well, you know, I feel isolated. I this, that, and the other. Translation, I want you to be friends with me. I want you to include me. That is what she's trying to say, but she does not know how to express herself. And then when you point it out to her, she gets pissed off. When Mariam genuinely told her, this hurt my feelings, because she told Choma that also, I think in episode 8 as well. She's telling you, Laura, and you're like, I'm not sorry, I'm not this, in your confessional, but I will just say it. Laura, don't you want to have genuine friendships with these girls? Or is it that you are trying to, you know, say, let me just get along with them for now? Because it's not working. You are very transparent. They can see you and what you are trying to do a mile away. And you are outnumbered. You are completely outnumbered. So you have to give in. Sometimes you just really have to pick your battles. If you had said, hi guys, I too have an idea. I want you guys, I would love to take you guys here. I think it would be really fun. And while we're on it, you know what, Toyin? I was really rude to you. I put you down at Mariam's dinner. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to be positive energy all around for me. Stop right there. It would have been fine. If you had stopped right there, it would have been fine. And so from there now, guess what? Laura had planned for them to go to the desert, and it's the desert that they go. They go in this beautiful fun bus. It's an hour to go to the desert. Let me tell you, because I've been there. I love it, love it, love it. You just drive over the sand dunes. It is absolutely magic. These drivers, fantastic. Then you come almost to a camp, and you can have white henna on your hands, black henna on your hands. You can buy little gifts and everything. You also have dinner, you have belly dancing, you have fire, all of these wonderful things. It is absolutely beautiful. Your hotel will plan the trip for you. For those of you that are traveling to Dubai and you want just have a little bit of entertainment, ask the front desk of your hotel. Every hotel in Dubai does it. It is one thing that I don't think you guys should miss. It's absolutely beautiful. The girls are there, and Mariam has a wonderful gift for Toyi. Guess what? She brought her husband, and Toyi is so happy, and she was genuinely surprised. Needless to say, Chioma goes to Iyabo. Iyabo, how do you see Laura? Do you really think Laura is going to make an effort? Do you really think that Laura is sorry? Because Laura had apologized, and she said she really wanted to hang out with the girls and it was going to be fun, and they kind of kissed and made up kind of sugar, you understand me? Chioma had really let Laura know, this is what you do. Your negative energy, you distance yourself, and you come back and you say you want to be here, you want to be there. We're kind of sort of tired of it. And me, Chioma, I've come to you a couple of times throughout the episodes to say, are you okay? Checking in with you here, checking in with you there. So, you know, when you think that you're being isolated, you're being segregated, it isn't that. We're just kind of sort of tired with all of this. So when they were driving down, Caroline was spraying dollars. Dollars. When I tell you, she did not spray Laura. Caroline did not spray Laura. So with all of this going on, Chioma was now trying to get feedback from Iyabo. Iyabo, what do you think? Do you think Laura is to be trusted, or Laura is just saying this because we are stuck together for 7 days? Iyabo gave a very mature answer. She said, you know what? We will react the way she acts. Translation, if she's acting funny, we'll be funny with her. If she's open with us, we should be open to her. I lived for it. I loved it. The irony of it all, this was the funniest scene. When I tell you, Toyi is social media queen, always trying to get a film. Toyi was twerking in the back, and her husband was filming it. I don't know whether they were posting it on Insta stories or whatever, but it was funny because you can see the love between husband and wife, and they are cool with each other. And then here we have this kind of serious conversation with Chioma and Iyabo. It was too funny. Needless to say, the following morning, Toyi announces that, guess what? We are going back to the townhouse because, of course, her hubby is now in town, but he lives so far away that it's ridiculous for them to stay at the villa. It's just too far. So they go back, and she honors her word and honors Mariam with the biggest room, of which Mariam is so elated. She's excited. They're laughing. They're having fun. It's light. It's nice. And she's like, thank you. And then Toyi now goes to Laura's room. And Laura is so happy that Toyi came in to check on her. Laura complained the entire episode. In this particular episode, she complained that she felt isolated even after the dinner conversation. She felt isolated on the bus. Nobody really interacted with her. And here she is now in the room. Again, I'm trying to understand Laura, and I am not giving Laura any passes. Laura, you have to make an effort too. You have to make an effort too. When you say and do the things that you have said and done, people cut off. People shy off. Let me tell you something. Ula and I is the most wonderful relationship I have ever had outside of a marriage. You know why? We are able to express to each other, talk to each other anytime. There is never a silent moment in this house between us that you are quarreling and we don't talk to each other. No, not at all. You can be upset, hot minute, and then I'll give it a beat and I say, Ula, you know what? A, B, and C hurt my feelings. What you said or how you reacted. Fumi, I'm sorry, you know what? It flew over my head. Or Fumi, you know what? Let me tell you, this is what I felt. You said something and I just responded to it as this A, B, and C. The same thing with Ula. Ula, you're quiet. What's wrong? Fumi, you know what? This is what happened. I just felt as if it was a bit insensitive and it kind of hurt my feelings. I'm sorry. Right away. Right away, squash it right there. And the difficult conversations, you really have to dig in and express yourself. Have you noticed we're also very good at expressing ourselves when we're angry? We're also good at expressing ourselves when we feel justified. But we find it difficult to humble ourselves and express ourselves and say, you know what, I'm sorry. I was wrong. That was why I started this episode and talked about trauma, because I felt very strongly about her tardiness. But in actual fact, she said that's not the case. I now must come back and acknowledge that, you know what, for me, you were wrong, and it is the way that it is presented, because we're all human, and humility above all else is where you will be able to be raised up and sit with kings. It is humility that will always get you further than anything else. It doesn't take anything from you. And that is the problem that Laura has. And I think Laura feels that, you know what, I'm an EKG. You understand? I have my sister there. Anything, I can get away with it. You came with that chip on your shoulder, and I've been down, told you, sis, that you didn't have friends up in here. And you could have friends here if you just humbled yourself a tad, that you just came down and had some sensitivity. Anyway, she goes to tell Toyin, Toyin, I love you. You are here with all of these other girls. Mariam brought your husband here. I should have been the one to do it. This is in her confessional. Again, Laura, if you are such a friend to Toyin, you don't have to be told what to do. As a friend, you would know what to do. I talk about Christina all the time. I know what Christina likes. I know what to do with Christina. I know what to give for Christina's children, who are my children. She's my friend. I know her. I know what would make her happy. In fact, if let us say that Christina's upset with me, I know where to find Christina to surprise her with a gift. I say, okay, I'm sorry. I was, you know what, ignore. You know why? Because you see, if you love somebody, you love them past the mistake that they've made, because the friendship is valued more. Laura values Toyin. She does, but she doesn't know how to act accordingly. And Toyin distanced herself because Laura put her down at Mariam's dinner in front of the very girls that Toyin constantly defends Laura to. That was it. So Toyin said, okay, I'll leave it off. And when she did, Laura felt that breeze. So anyway, Toyin is not really ready for this conversation. It's her birthday. But she's like, okay, you want the conversation, let's go on and have it. And very gently, she tells Laura, Laura, darling, you hurt my feelings. You hurt my feelings. And that was why I distanced myself away. You should learn to apologize. And Laura is talking about you should have come to me personally. But I have always said it. The apology has to be bigger than the crime. It has to be louder than the crime. You can't embarrass her publicly and then expect her to come to you privately. That doesn't make sense, Laura. And you have to understand. Needless to say, Laura sheds a tear because she's like, I'm here because of you. I've left my children. Toyin said, I've left my children too. It's a huge sacrifice for this show, and I'm happy that we are on episode 10. The next episode is 11. Then we have 12, which is the reunion. It has taken a toll on these girls and their love for their families and children. I think it's taking a toll on them, and it would take a toll on me. I don't know if I could do a reality show with Adrian this young and be away from him and be away from Ula and be away from my comfort zone. I don't know if I could do it with a bunch of girls that I don't get along with necessarily. They do kiss and make up. Toyin says, you have to apologize to your friend. And she does. She says, you have to say you miss me. And Laura says, I miss you, my friend. And they kiss and make up. And it's a beautiful thing. And so, you know, that is the end of episode 10. But, might I add, we had a snippet of episode 11 that I did not see coming. Caroline and Choma get into it. Now, when I say get into it, I couldn't believe Choma. And I can't wait for the episode, because Choma, that is so calm, composed, with that big boss bass in episode 8 and didn't do anything, Choma was completely unhinged. She completely lost her cool. And the snippet of what Caroline said, which I think she was upset or like irritated, was why was Choma now friends with all of these girls that she had considered, you know, not worthy. Now she's friends with them. And Choma in the background said, yeah, fine, they're my friends now. We don't know the whole story. I'm beginning to learn this. We will never know the whole story because it's heavily edited. We will not know what prompted this prior. We don't know. I can only comfortably now say to all of the girls, I can only give my humble opinion to what I watch. That's it. The thing where they see from my eye, not the only thing where I feel talk. Not the only thing where I see. I not see outside. I not see behind door. Now una come tell me, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's right. I don't know whether it's wrong. And you know, if it was not for this, I'd have done law. What do they say? Now hearsay. Hearsay is not anything that we can put inside court and say yes, justified. We cannot. Even Choma, you yourself, you're a lawyer. You too, you know now. Now hearsay. Now the only one where I see from my eye be say they come edit. But not the only one where I feel judge now. Make una choke mouth. Make una tell me your own opinion. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share. And I will see you on Friday. Do we love, my darlings? Do we love the beat? Don't worry. I'll be doing a lot of shorts. I'll be doing the makeup for you guys as well, so you guys can see what is happening. And when I tell you I have a story time for you, I think I'll try and film it in the next couple of days. Wow. Until then, my darlings, I live, I love. You take good care of yourselves, my darlings, okay? Make una choke mouth. This is the back. Let me just show you. And then this is the front. Yeah? All right. Love you. Mwah. Bye.